Do you know a terminology, auto boxing and auto unboxing? What is auto boxing and auto unboxing? Do you know any idea?
सर ये कुछ रैपर क्लास के रिलेटेड कुछ होता है, रैपर क्लास प्रिमिटिव डाटा टाइप्स एंड रैपर क्लास के
Yes, some little bit information that you have, but you should get the clarity. So maximum time, if you will go to Bangalore, go to Chennai, go to Hyderabad, maximum time, all the service-based and product-based companies. So those who are hiring Java developers, it is one of the very popular interview question. What is auto boxing and what is auto unbox? So my screen is visible. Screen is visible to
yes
all
sir
of you.
yes sir
Yes,
yes
sir.
sir.
Okay, so then mindfully you listen and you see what I am writing and what I am explaining. Suppose I will write integer I equals to 10. Suppose. Okay, so what I wrote, integer is a built-in class. Basically, currently the guy have told integer, we can say it is a wrapper class. When we are writing integer I, so I is an object or I is a reference. That means when integer I equals to something that I am writing, but it is expecting an integer object, but I have written 10. 10 is a primitive type of a value, int value. Int is a primitive data type or basic data type. Int, float, double, char, boolean, all are basic data type or primitive data type in Java programming. So again I am repeating, when I am writing integer I equals to, it is expecting an integer object. It is expecting an object, but I am writing 10, one primitive type of value. It is perfectly valid. It is perfectly valid after 1.5 version. Perfectly valid. Now, but it was invalid before 1.5 version. That means if you have JDK 1.4, JDK 1.4, it is invalid, incompatible type 1.4 version. But when JDK 1.5 released, the developer developed features. So from 1.5 onwards, it is valid. So when you have written the statement, what the compiler is understanding, internally compiler converts, okay, compiler converts this 10 is int value. Int means primitive type of value to wrapper object automatically. So meaning is what? Internally, when this line, how the compiler is understanding or how the compiler is doing, internally at the time of compilation, compiler converts this 10 means int type of value, that is primitive type, int type to wrapper type. Okay, internally compiler converting int type, primitive type to wrapper type. So the conversion, if I will define the conversion of primitive type to wrapper type, that is called to boxing. Okay, so if I will write, suppose I will open a notepad. Suppose if I will write class example 1 public static void main string args. Suppose if I will write integer I equals to 10. If I will write system.out.println, suppose I will write I. Now this. Suppose I will save this program. Suppose I have a drive in E drive. Suppose I will go to any drive, E drive. Suppose inside the E drive there is a folder that I have Java program folder. Suppose in Java program folder I will save. So everybody have known Java program name is your class name. Class name is example1.java. Now I will do all files. Now I will save. So I will go to command prompt. Okay, so where I saved my program E drive. Inside the E drive there is a folder Java program folder. So here I will compile Java C space file name example1.java. Just to see there is no compilation error. Now I will run Java space class name. Okay, so just to see happily we got the output, and this source code representing autoboxing, the conversion, automatically conversion of primitive type to a wrapper type, that is called as autoboxing. Give a response. I hope everybody got clarity.
Yes,
Give a
sir.
response.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So internally what the compiler is doing, internally what the compiler is doing, integer I equals to integer dot value of this method. Actually internally this method is invoking this. Internally it is happening. Okay, how the primitive type is converting to wrapper type. So this is all about autoboxing. Then what do you mean by auto unboxing? Just reverse of autoboxing. This is autoboxing. And what do you mean by auto unboxing? Auto unboxing. Okay, suppose I will write a statement integer I equals to new integer within bracket. Suppose I will write 100. Okay, so what is this? So I is an object, or I is a reference variable to this object, or overall we can say I is an object of type integer. Okay, so within bracket new class name, that is an object. In Java programming, new class name, that is the object declaration. So come explicitly we have an object named as I, and inside at the time of object declaration I have written the value 100. Suppose I am writing another statement. Suppose I will write int x equals to I. So what is the meaning? Int x equals to. So right is always assigning to left. So int x is a primitive type, because x is an int type of variable. That means int is a primitive type, but I is integer type. Integer is a wrapper class, wrapper type. So right is always assigning to left. That means what the compiler is understanding. Compiler is understanding wrapper type to primitive type. That means here compiler converts. Here compiler converts what? Integer object. That means wrapper type. Integer object that is wrapper type to primitive type. Okay, so internally what the compiler was doing, and this particular meaning is this, that line meaning is int x equals to I dot int value. Internally this method is invoking. Okay, this method is invoking. Now the value of x is 100. Okay, so I hope everybody got clarity. So just to see, I can write integer I equals to new integer within bracket. Suppose I will write 100, and I will write int x equals to I, and I will write system.out.println. So I can write, suppose x equals to the value of x. So now I will save. I will go to comment
Sir,
from
integer, sir. Integers.
New.
You have written integer.
Yes. Yes. So I will save. So now I will go to compilation Java C example1.java. Then I will run Java space example1. I got x equals to 100. So this is called as auto unboxing. So here wrapper type, the conversion is done by the compiler automatically. The conversion is done by the compiler automatically from wrapper type to primitive type. Okay, wrapper type to primitive type, that is unboxing. Primitive type to a wrapper type, that is called as autoboxing. Somebody have given a message, can you turn on your video? So actually after webinar we all will on the videos. Actually we have some network problem actually. Okay, so if I will on my video, some network will reduce actually. I hope everybody got clarity. What do you mean by auto boxing and what do you mean by auto unboxing? So
Yes,
I am
sir.
giving the clarity. So by figuratively, so suppose this is wrapper object, and this is primitive type. Suppose so this is wrapper. Suppose this is wrapper type. This is wrapper type or wrapper object, and this is a primitive type of value. Okay. Now conversion of wrapper type to primitive type. This conversion is called as what? Auto unboxing. Currently we studied auto unboxing. Similarly, the conversion of primitive type to wrapper type. Conversion of primitive type to wrapper type. This is called as autoboxing. This is called as what? Autoboxing. Clear? Give a response. Everybody got clarity? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a little bit doubt, sir.
हाँ,
सर
yes.
सर हम कैसे इंटरनल कैसे हम इसको इन्वोक करते हैं, ये जो
No. Internally it is happening. Internally this part we are not doing. Internally compiler is doing. Internally lots of things are adding by the compiler. Again, I am going to the next point, how the compiler changing our source code. This is the internal mechanism. But integer I equals to 10 we are writing, that is valid. But how the control is working, how the compiler is working, internally a value of is a built-in method that is invoking. After that method invocation, then the compiler is understanding in this way. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.